There's going to be some more moves later today. Already some interesting moves, and that's why we bring in Ian Rapoport back from the NFL Network, NFL.com reporter, and he joins us now. Ndamukong Suh to the Dolphins. What do you think?
I think they paid a lot of money for a very, very, very good player. And, they overpaid, but everybody overpays in free agency. So that's not even – it's the only way they could get him would be to overpay.
But you didn't say great player. You said very, very good player.
He's as close to a great player as you could be as a defensive tackle who doesn't sack a lot of people. I mean, he's disruptive. He's a guy you have to worry about every single play. And he's not Albert Hainsworth. I mean, to me, that's really the only worry is when you give a defensive tackle this kind of money, is he going to become Albert Hainsworth? But Suh is the anti-Hainsworth in that he works extremely hard.
My concern is the Dolphins' offense, Ian.
Yeah. I mean, they basically don't have any receivers now except for Mike Wallace. They've cut, they cut Hartline, they cut Gibson. I guess they have Landry, who is going to turn out to be a pretty good draft pick. That's going to end up being good value there. But, they need to retool a lot of things. Now, they're going to sign a player who you have to worry about, who has to be the focus of your game plan in Ndamukong Suh. That's a big deal. And I think the bet here is that Ryan Tannehill is enough as a quarterback to where he can make everyone else on the offense better. And maybe that's true because he's shown it at times. Now, of course, if he becomes that superstar, then you got to pay him too next year. But I guess you worry about that bridge when you cross it.
Yeah, and I'm not all in on the Suh thing, and I thought the Lions whiffed on this too because I guess did the Lions think they were getting a hometown discount with Ndamukong Suh?
Well, I think they I don't think it wouldn't even been that much of a discount. I mean, it only would have been $1 million a year. I think they were nervous that he simply wanted to play in a big city, which is, I think, the truth. That's what I was told. It's one reason he went with Rock Nation for his marketing. It's a reason why he heads to Miami, and he's been in Miami. I think they were nervous he wanted to go to a big city, so once he became free, they really thought there was a chance they would lose him. But I mean, they offered him $17 a year, so they tried to get this deal done a lot of different times. And I remember talking to a Lions official in training camp who said they wanted Suh to get out into free agency so he could see what he was worth, thinking that he would come back to them because he wouldn't get the numbers he wanted. But he did get the numbers he wanted.
What are the Eagles doing?
I don't know. I mean, it's not much of like an expert opinion, right? But they're letting a lot of good players go, and they're signing some other but different players. I mean, Frank Gore is great. I don't think he'll ever die. He'll probably play till he's 60. But is he LaShawn McCoy? I don't know that. Macklin going to the Eagles is not a surprise. He's a guy the Eagles targeted very early on in this. But it hurts. I mean, he was the best receiver. So I think the thinking is, and then let's say the Eagles go trade up for Marcus Mariota, which is certainly a possibility. Well, they would spend a lot of capital to do it. All those draft picks, I mean, they would lose a lot to leap up and do it. I don't know where the team will get the depth from, but you hope that the system is strong enough to withstand it.
He's Ian Rapoport, the NFL Network, joining us, Dan Patrick's show. Jay Cutler's future in Chicago is what?
All indications are he's going to be their quarterback. It's extremely hard for him not to be their quarterback. Now, the football people are all planning for it, game plan-wise, and getting ready that Cutler will be there. But he's guaranteed $16 million this year. If he's on the roster tomorrow, he's guaranteed $10 million of 2016. So I think obviously the Bears explored all options on Cutler. How could they not? Teams know that he is available if you want him. But if he's the Bears quarterback and he's good, that's the best case scenario because it's extremely expensive to do anything with him.
Devin McCourty being re-signed by the Patriots, what's that mean for Darrelle Revis, if anything?
My understanding is it doesn't mean anything, except that it's another really good player who Revis would want to play with. Now, one thing we know about Revis is he is going to get his money. I mean, that is a lock guarantee. He is a businessman like no one else probably. But I think the best case scenario is a long-term deal with, the Patriots. Will they get it done? I don't know, but they really are in the driver's seat because with all these guys, all these guys are free agents. So if you don't get a deal done with your current team, you just go out into the market. Well, Revis is not a free agent. So if the Patriots don't get a deal done with him, they can just pick up his option, and they don't want to, but they are willing to. They can just say, okay, well, you're still ours. We got you, and that's it.
But then they could also cut him or waive him and then restructure a deal, right?
Yeah, I would think if they were going to do that, they would just sign him long term, rip up that deal. I don't think they'd cut him and risk, because the Jets are certainly ready to pounce on Revis. The Jets are basically holding up their free agent business to see if Revis is going to be free. Like, there's a lot of people they've talked to, but they haven't made any deals because they don't know what's going to happen with Revis.
Tim Tebow reportedly thinking about a comeback.
Please happen. That would be great, Dan.
Okay, he's been working.
Is that real?
Yeah, he's been working with Tom House, who works with Tom Brady, the legendary pitching coach, and he says that Tebow has learned how to spin it really well. That he's helped him with his mechanics, and now he can throw a spiral. Is that what was holding back Tim from playing?
I cannot believe you just said that. That's awesome that he knows how to throw a spiral. And that's not what's been holding him back. Tim Tebow athletically has never been an issue. He's a little stiff, but he's always been able to throw. Now, his motion's a little long, but so is Colin Kaepernick's. Tebow has been able to throw the ball. The problem has been reading defenses. He can't throw a guy open. Guys have to be open when he throws it, which is obviously a major problem in the NFL. I always get a kick out of Tim Tebow. By all accounts, he's a great dude who is just what he seems. And as far as a football player, I think he's a really good announcer.
Wow.
Really good commentator.
Would you take a 5% pay cut if Tim Tebow became a starting quarterback in the
NFL? Just for entertainment reasons, you mean?
Yeah. How about 3% pay cut?
I would legitimately take a 3% pay cut.
Okay.
If Tebow became a starting quarterback, presuming that my wife never heard this conversation.
What if he became this?
I'm just saying, because that would probably get me in trouble. Because she went to Mississippi State. She doesn't like Tim Tebow at all.
Oh, okay.
She'd probably be annoyed about this.
I know you got a busy day, Ian. We appreciate you joining us.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, Ian Rapoport, NFL Media Insider. You can follow him on Twitter at RapSheet, and they got their free agency frenzy on the NFL Network. They got 9 hours of live coverage starting at 10 Eastern on the NFL Network.